Hi all you musical conspiracy theorists out there, it's John on Music Theory 18. I just managed to cram it in there, sorry, it's a bit of an afterthought. And you don't have to stand on your heads even if you're in Australia. I've just turned the board upside down so I can cram in a view of the guitar neck. Yeah, this is a picture of a guitar neck, believe it or not. Now if you remember the last lesson, Music Theory 17, I made a big deal about learning the notes on the E string, which is the 6th or the thickest string, very important. In the next 2 or 3 lessons we need to know the notes at least on the 6th and the 5th string, and so that we can learn to work out songs, which I do promise you, but it won't come to fruition until we've learnt these things. So it's a couple of jigsaw puzzle pieces, and when we've got those together we can put them together and you'll see the big picture. The last lesson it was very important to know the notes on this E string. I've made a big mention of that, okay, which was open E. Okay, then went to F on the 1st fret, F sharp on the 2nd, G on the 3rd, which is a dot mark, G sharp on the 4th, A on the 5th, which is a dot mark, A sharp on the 6th, B on the 7th, which is a dot mark, C on the 8th, C sharp on the 9th, which is a dot mark, D on the 10th, D sharp on the 11th, and double dot is E again. That's 12 notes, which is a chromatic scale. I hope that makes sense. And all it does, it carries on. It's like a little mini guitar. Carries on after E, it goes to F on the 13th, F sharp, G, G sharp, and so on. Anyway, this is all transferred onto a diagram. If you want to take a jotting of this, do so. Don't get too scared by it. I'll just go through it. It's just the guitar neck, this guitar neck, and basically that's what we just did on the E string, which is the 6th string. Again, what is the chromatic scale? It's 12 notes. That's the first lesson I started off with. If you started on, if you look down here, E, which is there, open E, the next note in the chromatic scale is F, which is the 1st fret, there's no sharp. Then we go to F sharp in the chromatic scale, which happens to be on the 2nd fret. Then we go to G, which is on the 3rd fret, which is the dot mark. And we go to G sharp, 4th. Then we go to A, 5th. Are you getting the idea? Then we go to A sharp, 6th. Do I need to go on? B is on the 7th. C is on the 8th fret. C sharp is on the 9th. D is on the 10th. D sharp is on the 11th. And back to E, squeezed in there. So you can see it's basically the 12 note chromatic scale starting on E. Now remember, let me just also have written here is the enharmonic equivalent. Flash word just means the flat equivalent. You need to know both. So an E to an F, okay, when you go to an F sharp, you could say you could get a higher. Is also, point of view is there's G, it's G flat, it's a G flattened. A G sharp is an A flat. You with me? A sharp, okay, then you got B is a B flat. No sharp between B and C. We don't have a B sharp or a C sharp, so it doesn't exist. A C sharp is there's D, it's a D flat. A D sharp is an E flat. It's basically the flat equivalents. Again, look at lesson 1, music theory. You can see it's just like basically the chromatic scale, just on the guitar. Now, when you play the next string open on the 5th string, or we call it the A string, this one. Okay. If you follow it down, follow it up the neck on the 1st fret. After A, it's A sharp, because so there's A sharp. The next one is B, because after A sharp it's B. Okay, B to C, no sharps, because we don't have a B sharp. There's B to C. Okay, and you've got C sharp. What comes after C sharp? D, D sharp, E, no E sharp, E and F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So it's just basically chromatic scale again, but from a different point of view at open A. Now eventually we're going to learn all the notes on the guitar, and I'll show you a little neat trick system that you will be able to locate and know what notes they are very quickly. Okay, so bear with me on that. It's not a laborious process. But it would be worth to know, if you don't know it already, the notes played open, which are E on the 6th, A on the 5th, D on the 4th, G on the 3rd, B on the 2nd, and E again on the 1st, which is a thin string. Now you notice we've got 2 E's. Okay, that's useful to know, because that just means it's 2 octaves higher. Okay, it just means a high version. If I play these 2 E's together, they harmonise. So this must be E to F on the 1st string. So once you understand the 6th string or the E string, it's the same. You can see on both F's, F sharp, G's, G sharps, A's, A sharp, and so on. Need I say more? Enough said. It's worth knowing the notes played open, if you don't know them already. E, A, D, G, B, E, and I say this to everybody. It sounds a bit comical, it sounds a bit childish, but you remember it. It's memory aid. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Okay, don't make up your own mucky answers. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. 6 for E, 5 for A, 4 for D, 3 for G, 2 for B, 1 E. Now, it's also worth noticing that I've got here the locators, the dot marks for the E string, and on the 3, which is there, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, and double dot 12, it's a G on the 3, this is on the E string, remember, A on the 5th, B on the 7th, can you see that? C sharp on the 9th, and E on the 12th. So they're the locators, just like the locators on a keyboard when I showed you a little trick of saying 2 black notes left of is C, 3 black notes left of is F. I can hear you shouting at home. Okay, so Gab C sharp E will help us to find the notes. So if you know where G is and you want to find G sharp, you're thinking, well, okay, it's just one up from there. I've explained that in lesson 17, the previous lesson to this one. It's also worth doing the dot marks, I've got it here, for the A string or 5th string, which are on the 3rd is C, there, on the 5th is D, on the E, on the 7th it's E, and on the 9th it's F sharp, and back to A on the 12th. I'll put a little bracket there, I put C, Def sharp, A. A little way of, I call it Def sharp. That's my username, Def sharp 11, so that helps. Yeah, a little plug, shameless plug at the same time. C, D, E, F sharp A. So I know the dot marks on this are Gab, G, A, B, C sharp B for the E string, and for the A string, C, D, E, F sharp A, or C, Def sharp A. Whoa, a lot to take in there. I would say write some of this stuff down if you haven't got it in books, or look at it with a new fresh set of eyes, because we're going to need to know this stuff to work out songs eventually, and in the next, after about 3 or 4 lessons, be able to potentially be able to work out songs on the guitar. I appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you soon.